I think it's absolutely education, getting the community educated, making the community understand the value of what you're doing. So that it's not just another piece of software they have to work with or another program they have to work with, but what value it can bring to the community. And really we can't get on this more, the engagement and the sponsorship at the highest levels and driving that down through the organization.
For us, one of the big things, like I've worked in the community innovation space for about 11 years now, across all platforms. And one of the biggest limiting factors is that a lot of platforms want you to do things exactly how they think you should. And for us, Hype's been great because it actually allows us to work with our processes. It supports what we needed to do. And that's been really, really helpful. Instead of trying to, kind of shove our process into someone else's vision, instead our vision has been supported. And that's been probably the most critical success factor for us. I can't imagine having to try to change everything to adapt to someone else's thought process.
I would say some critical success factors are making sure you've got that alignment up front with the sponsor, that you've set the objectives, define what success looks like, and that you have that clear alignment as you kind of go out. Also identifying the audience. Some of the things we've done and we're new to this, but some of the things we've done in the campaigns we've run is, we've kind of looked at what the challenge was. And for example, in robotic process automation, we actually went into the organization that we were running a campaign with and looked at the types of jobs that would qualify as candidates, for that type of technology. And so we centered, our focus on those types of folks.
I believe transparency is really key to the success of our program because with the campaign online and virtual, we're creating a safe space for everybody to share, to think out loud, to comment, and really there's no titles, there's no barriers, there's no geographies. You can kind of say and not be judged by that, what they're saying as well. So I think constructive criticism is really key and transparency is key to that. I can't say enough about how important communications is to the success of our program. It's communicating things to train people before it even begins. It's communicating metrics and where you need more support and where you need more idea development during a campaign. It's afterwards so people know that their time and contributions were appreciated and then also where they stand. And then ultimately, hopefully taking them to concept and taking them to that success story, which you can again communicate out. So communications.
Start of a culture change. So what we wanted to do is to not announce it as a tool, but announce it as more of a lifelong program for the staff at UCI. We're going to be expanding that into students and faculty and maybe citizens outside in the community. But right now, we really just want to focus on making this an ingrained part of the everyday world at UC Irvine.
So I found that having executive support all the way up to the CEO level was very critical for us, was recognized as a critical factor, and we were lucky enough to have their support. So they were in an all-hands company meeting, would speak about this, endorse the programs, explain the significance of it and how it fits into our strategic path forward. So to me, that was one of the biggest ones. And it's not just the CEO talking about it, but in our case at least, have several EVPs that command major portions of the resources and activities in the company support this actively. And once the campaigns launched, the program started to take off after, the posters and the little videos and all that communication stuff, which is important so people understand what's coming and it comes with credibility. At that point, the executives remained involved, reviewed things, had conversations with certain people at certain opportunities. So I think that executive level support is one of the most critical ones.